Live from the Man Cave, treadmills and tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors. Live in discussion of all things health and wellness, along with community topics they happen to stumble upon.
And good morning, Omaha. You are live in the Man Cub. You listen to Treadmills and Tangents. I am Coach here with Timmy and Sam again.
What's up? Good morning.
How's everybody enjoying their coffee today?
Good.
Actually, we're not drinking coffee. I lie. I'll tell the truth.
Yeah.
We are drinking my morning elixir.
It's good. It is good.
So what I do, guys, is I take tart cherry juice, cranberry juice, lemon juice, and apple cider vinegar, and I put 2 tablespoons of each in water and drink it down.
How much water do you throw in there? Just in case someone's at home like,
I have no idea. Whatever the cup holds.
It was.
That's fair.
It's probably 12 ounces of water.
It's good.
It is.
I had never tried it before. He was making something. I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Now the key is it's the real cranberry juice and real cherry juice, the stuff that'll make your head turn inside out if you took a big swallow by itself.
Challenge accepted.
And I drink this more. What I've read on it, it's for liver health than anything.
Sure.
We were talking on the side that Tim gives his dog a liver pill.
Yeah, the pill's called Liver Happy.
Liver Happy.
So he goes to I wish this was a made-up story. We adopted this Chihuahua, and he had a lot of issues. And so
Stop right there.
They told us.
Stop right there.
They're like, hey.
Stop.
He goes for the
Stop.
Eastern medicine.
Stop.
So
You're going to get a flag thrown on you. First of all.
Hey, the person that had me adopt the Chihuahua is the same one that told you were getting
any dog,
a German Shepherd or something, and you're
any
getting
dog
something else.
that's the size of a rat is.
True. So I did take him off this at one point because I was like, this is a bunch of malarkey. And then within a couple of days, you could tell he was just a completely different dog. So a big thing in Eastern and Chinese medicine is that everything comes from the liver. Like if you have a happy liver, it changes so much of the dynamic of your body. Yeah, he's on a Liver Happy pill.
Well, and the crux of my little elixir that I drink too is the same thing. If your liver is healthy and functioning normally, you now have better control over your hormones and over how your body processes foods and blood regulation and everything. So, instead of a happy wife, happy life, happy liver, happy life.
True.
I can roll with that.
Very true.
Although if you can make your wife and liver happy at the same time, that is probably the ideal route to take.
If anyone has any recommendations,
Yeah, I was going to say,
figure that out.
If anybody's figured that out.
Treadmills and Tangents.
If there is a pill that can make both your liver and your wife happy at the same time,
And it doesn't have to be FDA approved.
we will endorse it like there's no it doesn't have to be. We don't care about side effects.
Right.
We're willing to try it.
Let's see what happens.
We're willing. Yeah, liver health, it's hugely important. And that's one of those things that once the liver goes, man, your health deteriorates pretty quick.
Right.
And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the liver is one of the organs you cannot transplant, correct? Look that up. I might be speaking out of turn. I just looked up at the screen, and Tim has like 97 Twitter windows open
Hey, man,
now, trying to. Oh, you can do liver transplant.
Okay.
Interesting. Why did I think the liver you couldn't?
The
transplant?
liver, I know you can't, and I didn't jump in just in case I was going to be out of turn, but there's people that get that, and then liver transplants is one of the biggest things.
The liver, that's what it was. The liver is the only organ in the body that is able to regenerate itself. And a transplanted segment of the liver can grow to its normal size within
I did
weeks.
not know that.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Well,
so we
that's
learned.
why we're your health and wellness show, Sam Anderson.
We
are
are
giving the knowledge to the people.
Giving our knowledge.
Not just to the people.
Literally.
Also,
in the room as well. We got a Twitter that shows nurses' studies show that participants with the highest intake of veggies and fruits, 5+ servings a day, had 30% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Well, we know this, right? And here's what I would say: eliminate the fruits, and you'll have an even higher percentage of lowering the risk of cardiovascular disease. Our next tweeter is honey and cinnamon are superfoods, natural remedy. Did you know that honey and cinnamon are some of those powerful natural antibiotic, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory remedies, not only for humans, but also for your animals. So you should get your dog
a little honey?
Cinnamon and honey. I knew honey is people with a lot of allergies. Honey is a good alternative.
Raw honey.
Raw honey as well.
I put cinnamon in my bulletproof coffee.
Cinnamon
we've talked about cinnamon. I
been
think
used as a spice for
one of the
eons.
first 2 weeks we talked about all the health benefits of cinnamon. We've been on the cinnamon train for quite a while.
Once in a while, when I'm making some homemade spaghetti sauce, when I want to, change it up a little bit, I'll put a couple pinches of cinnamon in.
Ooh,
and you can taste it. Like you can when you eat it, you're like, something's different. I'm not sure what.
For those of you that know,
'Cause it
Coach
can
is
be
kind of a little
spicy.
bit of a chef too.
I'm not a little bit of a chef.
I was gonna say he is not. He is.
So let's just say he is a chef.
I can throw down,
He can.
and I would be willing to do a chef cook-off challenge with anybody.
Yeah, you're the one who started talking
Oh,
smack. I'm on his side.
I'm on his side too. I can't cook at all.
I have been
I
over
fully
several
admit that.
times and had some of his food, and I have never left disappointed,
Oh,
nor
not at
with
all.
my pants buttoned.
Wait.
What?
And we digress.
Black tea. Maybe not a good segue.
Black tea. Black tea is loaded with theaflavins to help downregulate expression of genes associated with inflammatory cytokines. So yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory black tea. And we're not talking inflammation like a sprained ankle. We're talking chronic inflammation here.
Right.
Just inflammation of the body, inflammation of the cells. And then, of course, we have foods that are brain threats and brain protectors. And of course, guess what's a brain protector? Our nuts and dark leafy greens.
Oh, what?
Again,
What?
and again, there they are. Sweet potatoes as well, vitamin B12. And then what I think's funny is the brain threats are all like hard metals.
Right.
Iron, copper, and aluminum.
And by hard metals, we mean there's a picture of an iron frying pan, a copper pipe, and aluminum pots. They didn't. We are hitting. You know what, guys? By the time
Well,
we're
that
done
makes
with the
sense,
first unit,
right?
The periodic table.
A threat to the brain, a frying pan across the head.
True.
It could cause some brain damage.
Good thing
as
I don't
they
have
say.
one
Any of those across the head.
My wife might start swinging.
Man, have you ever used a cast iron
I have.
pan?
Not
They're
for
heavy.
not for assault, but for cooking.
They're heavy. You could dent someone's head.
Oh,
with
you
one.
could jack up a brain.
That's all my grandmother used to cook on, was a big, heavy black cast iron
You know,
pan.
maybe
And
what we should do is hit Sam with one and see what the ramifications of a cast iron skill to the head.
Well, since he's bald, we can see immediate
Yeah,
Well,
effects.
that's what I was
good.
thinking. We'll get a nice indent. I mean,
When my grandmother passed away, that was an awkward silence right
That
there.
Yeah, it
was.
was.
My grandmother passed away. One of the things everybody tried to lay claim to were her cast iron pans.
Oh wow!
Her black. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
All the antique stuff in the house, everybody wanted the pans.
Did you get any of the pans?
I did not.
Yeah.
One of my cousins snagged it, unbeknownst to me. Like snagged it before we even started to try to divvy
Do
stuff.
we need to make a road trip, or
Yeah.
I mean,
we
we can get that
We can
pan.
handle this business.
no, it's good. I got a set of antique china.
Oh wow, nice.
And you know what was funny is my grandmother was so funny. When I grew up with her from the time I was in third grade until I left for college. Till the day she died, when I would come back, nothing was touched in my room. I wouldn't let anybody touch anything.
Oh wow.
So it was exactly the way it was when I left. And I happened to, she lived to be 103. So there's a lot of
Wow.
stuff that gets collected
That's
in the house when you
For
live that
sure.
long. And I happened to be up in one of the cupboards one time, and I found this set of china that was, I'd never seen it used. I didn't know it was up there. I'm like, oh, these are really cool. How comes you don't use these? She's like, oh, I just keep them up there. That day on, she had written, I didn't know this, she had written a little piece of paper and put it on top of them. It said, when I die, Aaron gets these.
Oh wow.
That's
Right,
awesome.
because I had said these are really cool. So I have them.
That's cool.
I
That's a
have
nice
a cool
memory to
little
have too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid to use them, but
Yeah.
I'll break them out on a special occasion.
You
or
break
something.
one and then that's not good.
Oh, I know. I would be devastated if I
Yeah.
broke it. And they've been through a couple of moves too, so I probably need to get into those boxes and check them to make sure they're okay. But they made a trip across country just fine. Hey guys, I want to talk about this concept of active rest or active recovery. Have you guys heard that before?
Yes, I have.
Once or twice.
You have.
I have.
What do you do for active recovery?
Really, I just do walking, light jog, nothing too strenuous.
Yeah, Tim, what do you do?
I do yoga, or I have been trying to get more into doing some meditation stuff, like just kind of. I have a hard time shutting my brain off, so I'll put on I have a playlist of just some light music, and I'll just kind of close my eyes and.
Is Enya in that playlist or Yanni?
No.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Kenny
laugh. There are
Kenny
people,
G.
there are
I was
people
gonna
that
say, maybe
swear.
they'll-
There are
they
people that
do.
swear Yanni
Maybe
has
a
cured
little-
his diseases.
I mean, Kenny G, maybe a little Michael Bolton. It's just a nice place. That's where I can just try to get like my mind and stuff to really reset and relax. And then obviously yoga has been great for stretching, and especially after like a hard lifting week or something, it's good to.
Sure, and we all know the body needs rest, and then there are times where you do need rest and recovery. But sometimes they use that term interchangeably, rest and recovery, whereas the concept of active recovery is that you're actually still doing something, but it's more an attempt to reinvigorate your mind, reinvigorate your enthusiasm, doing something fun to help stimulate the mental side of it all. Because working out and training hard, especially if you're a competitive athlete, can be really draining on your body and your nervous system. So it's kind of an opportunity. Just go do something fun. And I was just thinking about this the other day is because I'm in the pool with my kids. And we had talked about this a couple weeks ago, Tim, about my two-piece mindset theory. Just getting in the pool and having fun. Mm-hmm. Splashing around with the kids, goofing around. That's active recovery.
Right, yeah, for sure.
You know, going for a walk, going for a hike, or hopping on a bike ride and just dorking around the neighborhood with your kids is active recovery. And the whole point is that you're not working out incredibly hard, but you're still staying active. You're still, burning off some energy, you're de-stressing, you're having fun.
Getting that body moving a little bit.
Yeah, body moving, laughter. I mean, to me, I like to listen to comedy as active recovery. Yeah. Because to me, I don't think, I think laughter is a great healing tool and it improves your mood.
We did that driving back from Chicago a few years ago. We went out and did a seminar, actually a couple seminar. We did a Muay Thai seminar, and then Sam and I did our TFW seminar, and then you went along for the ride. And then on the way back, we listened to comedy the whole way back from Chicago.
That was great.
And I think we all were in tears at some point, just rolling after a hard weekend of training and just doing stuff. It was awesome.
Set the mind right. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, things like
massage
and floating, do sensory deprivation floating, or just sitting in a hot tub. All active recovery and part of rest, I think, is good for you. But I think more importantly, it's just you need active recovery from work too.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
How many of you guys have left a week of work and just, I can't wait for the weekend, which says something about your job. One,
right?
You're probably in a wrong job if you're always looking for the weekend. But sometimes you just had there's a big project or the proverbial crap hit the fan at work, and you just had a stressful week, and you're just looking forward to the recovery, getting to the weekend just to rest and relax. But sitting on the couch may not be the answer. They're starting to show that actually doing something is better for you than just sitting on the couch watching movies. And there's a time and a place. Don't get me wrong, to veg. I think there's a time and a place for that. But, you got to get off your butt and just get the body moving. If the body's moving and get the endorphins moving a little bit, and it helps you de-stress.
If Netflix keeps asking, are you still there? You should probably get up and do something. I mean, if Netflix thinks you've been there for too long, you probably got to do something else.
If whatever you're doing times out, that's a good indication.
Oh, yeah. After a while. I don't know how long it is, but after a while, it'll be like,
I think it's like days.
So apparently Tim has done it.
No kidding.
Not the only one
How do you know
this? But my wife has seen it on more than one occasion. Also, speaking of her, if you're listening, I'm going to get that hot tub for active recovery. Thanks.
I second that.
My little blow up hot tub got a hole in it during the move.
R.I.P.
I'm incredibly sad. And here's the thing: as much as I want to patch it, I'm afraid to patch it because
that's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water in the floor. That thing doesn't patch properly.
Maybe we could tell her like, hey, Aaron's got a pool. We can go over there and swim, but we need to get a hot tub so we can come over here and recover if need be. I feel like it's a win-win situation.
I don't think you're going to win that argument, but
I'm going to try it. I'll let you guys know. I'll report back.
I think hot tubs are incredible. My body feels so good after I sit in a hot tub and do it on a regular basis. I think just the circulation, improving circulation, when your body has inflammation in the lymphatic system, what it's trying to do is just circulate more blood and fluid to the area to help it heal, right? You can have inflammation without healing, but you can't have healing without some type of inflammation. I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
So you need that circulation, and I think hot tubs are great for that. As part of recovery, when I'm achy, if I could get in the hot tub. We used to have a membership at Lifetime Fitness, and it's a great gym. But one of the only reasons I kept it was for the hot tub. I very rarely worked out there. I would just go sit in a hot tub. I would love to get one at the gym, but you would have to have a huge hot tub for that many people.
Yeah.
Or coaches only.
A coach's
It could
only.
be a Treadmills and Tangents hot tub, and if you're not on the show, you can't get in.
You can't get. You're not in the
We could go
club.
live from the hot
Exclusive
tub.
only. Ooh.
Although I feel like our members might not appreciate that.
I'm not sure that electronic equipment in a hot
Yeah.
tub necessarily mesh well.
YOLO, man. You'll get some circulation real quick.
Yeah.
Not the kind you want, but you'll stimulate those muscles real
All of our
fast.
hearts stop instantly because the mic falls into the water.
This will be our last
Bzzzt.
segment
Whoa.
before we
My
die.
guess would be that would be Sam's fault. We had to,
What?
we had to
When's
fix
that
it.
my fault?
You just seem like
We,
a good
we
guy.
could we could possibly suspend the microphones from the ceiling. You know, like the big boom mics like they
Yeah.
have like in theaters and
We
whatnot.
just need to have somebody come in and hold the mic for us.
We can figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Here, we need you to stand
Giant
here and
fans.
hold this
Yeah.
microphone. Don't let it drop in the water. We gotta make them stand in the water so they have incentive not to drop it in the water
There you go. Yeah.
as well. Yeah, massage too. Have you guys gotten a massage stateside since we've been in Thailand?
I have not, unfortunately. I'm overdue for one.
I have not done one since we got back.
I have. There's a little place called like the Green Emerald Massage
Okay.
over on Q Street. I walked in and I laid down and the girl goes, "You want me to stand?" I was like, "What do you? You can do it however you want." Like I didn't know what she meant, but then I looked up and they had these rails on the ceiling, and she went up and stood on me just like in Thailand, like a
Yeah.
Thai massage. And I was like, "Oh, brings back memories."
Right.
But yeah, just
I'll have to check that place out.
walked
yeah.
all over me and walked up and down, and think a couple things cracked that maybe shouldn't have cracked. But she was so tiny though, she couldn't really get that much pressure on me. But I see why they stand on you, because you know, to get some pressure. But no, it was a good little massage. It was kind of nice, and I'm a big proponent of massage. I used to go when the Omaha School of Massage was still open.
Right.
When I first moved to town in 1998, I didn't live too far from it, and it wasn't very big still. They just had one corner of the building, but you could get like hour massages from a student for like $15.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, they were
crazy.
crazy cheap.
Yeah.
I was there every other week.
Right.
I didn't
Well,
even feel bad about
in
it.
Thailand, we were dropping what, $10 for a massage most of the
Well,
time.
that's
so
that's Thailand though.
Yeah.
That's
it was good. It was
That's
like,
a- that's
you
an
guys want to
anomaly.
get a massage up today again?
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
sure
On the beach, no
yeah.
problem.
I got some change in my pocket. I could get one.
Right.
But anyhow, guys, yeah, active recovery. Just get out and just do something. You know, even if it's maybe just going shooting pool or getting in the pool.
I've
Just
not
do
shot pool in
something.
long.
And I guess my thing, if you have kids, just go play with your kids. Go play catch. Go play outside. Play tag.
Chase your 1-year-old around
Do
the house.
something. Just play with your kids. They want to be played with anyway, and it's good quality time. And I can't think of a better active recovery than playing with your kids outside, especially.
Right.
We like to wrestle. I get home, my kid's like, "Daddy, let's wrestle." I'm like, "All right," even though I'm so tired at that point. But
Puts
you know,
the gi on.
just roughhousing. There's actually studies out there that roughhousing households that roughhouse very good developmentally for the children,
Interesting.
right? Because it teaches them interaction. It's good quality time with the kids. Allows them to express themselves,
Feel out a little physical
I
get out
energy
some
and some of
physical
that stuff.
energy and whatnot. You guys roughhouse? Well, your kid's too little still.
Yeah.
I do with my nephews.
I don't roughhouse my 1-year-old very much.
Your nephew's like 6'10".
My
dude.
oldest, he's 6'10". He's
Sam posts a picture. So proud of this guy. Graduating 8th grade.
yeah, 8th grade.
Graduated middle school. I'm like, dude, he's a giant.
Yeah. He's going to dwarf you.
Oh, he is.
So speaking of funny story, we're in the gym the other day, and we have one of our students, Ryan McPherson, who the entire family, her older sister Blake, have been in my gym since they've all been 5 years old, and they all look exactly alike. So Ryan has been around forever. She's tall for her age,
Right.
and she said something. She did something, and Tim just busts out, "What are you, 12?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh."
Yeah, I remember
She's
what
a
it
big
was.
12, very
I
big
know, like,
12-year-old.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you are only 12.
It's like, what are you
Yeah.
talking? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. I forget too sometimes because she's been around us so long.
Right, yeah.
Active recovery. We digress once
And we
again.
that is what you call a tangent.
That is what that is. That is
That's why it's in
the
our name.
tangents.
We've got it
Anyhow.
figured out.
Right on. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show right here on The Answer, 94.5 FM, 1420 AM. We'll be right back.
When you walk into Mid-America Martial Arts, you're walking into more than punching and kicking. You're walking into a community, and that is what I think sets us apart from everybody else. We train anywhere from 4 years old, and we have students as old as in their 60s here. Our main programs are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, Judo, as well as our strength and conditioning program, which is our Training for Warriors program. Our main goal is that when people leave here, they feel better about themselves. You know, they're a little bit better as a person, they feel a little bit about their life, they feel better about their day. Now, everybody holds baggage, everybody has stress. This is the place where they can come in and put all that away for a little bit and work on themselves. Yeah, do we hope they can defend themselves better? Sure. Do we hope they can punch and kick a little better? Absolutely. None of that matters if they don't feel good about themselves. And that's the main key. If they can walk out of here feeling good about themselves, feeling good about their life, then we've won that day.
Mid-America Martial Arts, located at 14951 Chandler Road in Millard. Give them a call at 402-813-1721 or visit midamericamartialarts.com.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show right here on The Answer. Fellas, Mediterranean diet, good or bad?
Good.
Good. Yeah,
for the most part, yeah. The rhetoric out there in the Mediterranean diet is that it's a very good diet, very high in fresh vegetables and fish and olive oils. But we recently found some literature and studies that show that in areas of the world where the Mediterranean diet actually originated, that childhood obesity is increasing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's like, what? How's that possible? Well, what's really happening is the crux of it is that they're getting away from the Mediterranean diet. Big
Right.
shocker.
Yeah.
So the article, which was on CNN, which again, take it for what it's worth, CNN, but in areas of Europe, Cyprus, Greece, Italy, Malta, San Marino, and Spain, which are known for the Mediterranean diet, have the highest rate of childhood obesity, which is crazy. 18 to 21% of the boys, a little bit lower for girls. But as opposed to the U.S., where about 17% of kids are all obese, which is disgusting in itself.
Correct.
But
Agreed.
It's crazy that they're higher than us, though. That blows my
well,
mind.
those specific regions, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just increasing. But
Fair.
essentially what's happening is that they're getting away from the traditional patterns of the Mediterranean diet. And guess what's starting to happen?
Sugar, y'all.
Yep, sugar and processed foods and energy dense foods, as they say, are making their way into the diet. And guess what? Obesity is going up. So yet again, another stake in the heart of the traditional food pyramid, that even the Mediterranean diet, if you allow those things to come into it, will start to increase body fat and obesity. This should be a shocker to everybody, because it just goes to show you that, yeah, the med diet in itself is good, but if you don't follow it and you allow some of those things to creep into it, now you're starting to be at risk for obesity, increased body fat, and the diabetes.
The diabetes.
The diabetes
Bad news,
is
man.
coming in. A 2011 study showed adherence to the Mediterranean diet for 4 years reduced the incidence of type 2 diabetes by 52%. Now, which is funny, because all these documentaries we've been talking about on Netflix and whatnot that we've been posting are showing and improving that the keto diet, in some of those cases, which the Mediterranean diet is not far from the keto diet.
Right.
You could say it's keto light, for lack of a better term. You like to use that term, keto light. Is reversing type 2 diabetes, right? It's beating it. It's preventing it, and it's beating it. And a lot of these doctors are coming out saying, no, it's not true. Well, here's a 2011 study that shows the med diet, yeah, it did help. Now, what I think is happening here is the Mediterranean diet is a little more palatable to people and to physicians. Keto is still pretty vilified.
Right.
So when you say, I got a study that shows keto reduced diabetes, they're going to try to poo-poo it right away. But the Mediterranean diet's a little more palatable. It's like, oh yeah, the Mediterranean diet's very healthy. Well, it's the same damn thing is happening, right? You're ridding your body of the sugars and highly processed and simple carbohydrates. And now they're showing that, hey, people that are on the med diet, if that stuff creeps in, guess what's going to happen?
Same thing happens everywhere else.
Kids get fat.
Obesity.
Yeah, it's sad. Latest data from the World Health Organization on Childhood Obesity Surveillance Initiative, which tracks obesity and overweight prevalence in European children, ages 6 to 10 for the past 10 years shows that approximately 250,000 children, they collected data on 250,000 children, and this is where the information is coming from, that obesity is increasing. So it's a large data pool. Yeah, very big study as well. So guys, be careful. You know, when we always kind of joke when we say, "Hey, how's your diet?" and you go, "Pretty good." Right. Well, this is what happens when you say pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. I'm on the med diet, pretty much.
Right. And this is just highlights what you said earlier. One of the doctors who was part of that report said the changes in the food system are more artificial food, more processed food, foods with additives, the salts, the sugars, and at the end of the sentence is, and that's an issue worldwide, which obviously we know. Like it's now just getting in everywhere.
Yeah, and that's Dr. Bruce Y. Lee, not the Bruce Lee.
No, not the.
Let's not make a mistake here.
Absolutely.
Who's the real badass? But Dr. Bruce Lee, executive director of Johns Hopkins Global Obesity Prevention Center.
Yeah.
So Johns Hopkins. Yeah, that's crazy though. Isn't it crazy how even in the areas in which this diet originated, the Mediterranean, in the Med, where all these great foods are readily available and healthy foods, fresh foods, and you get away from it, the facts are facts, right? The body will show what happens when you start introducing those sugars and those processed foods.
Yeah, and it also had just a little an added piece on there that they're getting away from a lot more of the physical pieces of their life that they've been doing forever, and that was one of the big pieces of that diet as well. And now kids are starting to get a little more lazy. Electronics are starting to get more
kids are just less active,
so they're doing less. So then you eat more sugar, you do less. We're back to the sugar cycle that we talked about last week. You get into that repetitive state, and your body just spirals downward.
I'm constantly shutting off my TV and taking my electronics away from my kids. I'm like, get outside. It's summer. Get outside.
There's
get
a pool in your backyard.
Yeah. There's a pool in the backyard. Get outside. Do something. Take the dogs for a walk.
Right.
I don't care what you do. Go do something.
Yeah.
I mean, activity in itself is going to help with this. But that's crazy. Yeah. So, guys, diet is, I cannot stress that enough.
Like
especially for your kids.
Horse,
well, I mean, we got to beat a dead horse.
Because with how bad obesity is,
you got to beat a dead horse.
Don't get it.
And for kids, for kids to be obese, to me, is just neglect. That's a form of neglect in my mind.
Yeah.
And neglect is the #1 form of child abuse worldwide. That's a fact. That is a fact. I learned that all through college when I got my human relations degree. We beat that beyond beating a dead horse. That neglect is so destructive to children.
Right.
And to me, neglect of the diet is the same thing.
Right.
Same thing. You can probably hear my dog in the background. Somebody rang the doorbell. That is one of the drawbacks of recording in the Man Cubby, live in the Man Cubby, because when it's live, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But, the color, the sun's coming in this morning. The color of the room is very nice.
The mint green's really popping.
It's good.
I was
just trying to segue off the dog.
I don't like you. Speaking of my dog Boomer, poor guy, my daughter had her birthday party over here, and they were doing a piñata, which they don't make piñatas like they used to, fellas. This piñata took 3 whacks and it fell apart.
Really?
It actually didn't destroy. It was a unicorn, and one of the girls hit it, and the body detached from the head.
So if you were to hit it, it would have been into a million
pieces. It didn't explode to where candy came out. It just fell apart.
It was just cheap.
My son was devastated because he didn't get a chance to swing at it. But anyway, one of the girls was swinging, and the idiot dog ran over to her and took a whack in the head from the stick, and he yelped and ran off. I was like, what was that? And then I saw him whimper away. I was like, oh, that had to hurt.
Yeah.
We'll probably never do that again.
Because they were swinging like crazy. And of course, this was a couple hours after the girls had their softball game, so they're all still swinging for the fence. Anyway, but I felt bad. I felt bad for the dog. So we're going to segue to dating. Because why not? Why not?
Because we can.
Because we're about tangents.
Because we can. No, but we found an interesting article on CNN as well that online dating specifically can actually lead to greater bouts of depression and low self-esteem.
I believe that.
And
I
why?
believe that.
Why do you ask? Well, one is your own electronics again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and we know what that does to the brain and what that does to your social skills. You know what I find funny about online dating is that most people who have trouble dating, in my mind, probably have just trouble socializing in
Yeah, a
general.
little social anxiety.
Just
maybe.
social anxiety, don't have good interpersonal skills, aren't good at having conversation with strangers or building rapport. So what do?
Put yourself out there for everyone to see.
You hide behind a computer.
Sounds
No, you hide behind a computer where you're not really interacting with anybody. It's like, all right, isn't that kind of taking us the opposite direction? But, nonetheless, dating apps are still growing in popularity. It's estimated there's more than 7 million paid subscribers on Match.com.
There you go, Sam.
Holy smokes.
We're going to get Sam
No.
profile.
That's up 3 million just from a few years ago.
Nope.
You know
I
what's
will
crazy?
not do that.
You know what's crazy to this to me, and I don't know if we haven't read all the way through here yet, but you put yourself out there, and what happens if no one ever clicks on you? I think that's probably where some of this low self-esteem and depression comes from. Is you spend this time, and I had a boss when I worked at
Like
casinos.
a boss. What? Okay.
So he went on eHarmony and did the little eHarmony's one where I think you have to do like 100 questions or something like that and build your profile. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Okay.
So he goes through and does it, and he gets to the end, and it goes, "We're sorry, you're part of the 1% that isn't compatible with our system."
Ooh,
Basically,
ouch.
they wouldn't put him on there because there's something in the way he did his stuff that he doesn't fit in
Did
the
he
way
type-
they match people.
He typed the word pedophile in there somewhere.
So he
Or
emailed
what?
them, and they
Wow.
wrote back, and they're like, "We're sorry, we understand you went through all the questions, but you just don't fit into the system." I was like,
that's a
how-
kick in the junk.
like, how
Yeah.
jacked up are you, man?
Talk about some low self-esteem
Yeah.
there.
Have you guys seen on Facebook, there's that Omaha Love,
No,
I have
loveomaha.com?
no.
I somehow started getting it because, one, I got like a bazillion friends. I only know like 10 of them but on my Facebook because I don't say no to anybody. But Omaha Love,
Oh yeah, here we go.
they have a Facebook thing, and they're constantly posting videos about how to date better and stuff like that. But it's gaining popularity. But anyway, I also know on an article that Tinder, what was it? It gets 1 billion swipes a day.
Let me get back to that one. Sorry.
1.6 billion
Jeez.
swipes a day. Holy smokes. Now, I think Tinder has devolved than what originally was intended to be.
By
Right.
far.
I'm not sure it's still used as just a hookup site. Or as the article says, short-term sexual relations. Now, short-term could be 30 seconds all the way up to...
One full night.
I mean, it depends. Are you doing the physical activity to build the stamina, or are you just out here willy-nilly trying to play the game?
But would Tinder be part of your active recovery?
It could be.
Ooh, thoughts.
Massage.
So rejection is real even online. That's basically the crux of all this.
Right.
And but here's the problem. If you're online, you can get rejected twice as fast
Yeah.
by more people because it's kind of like rapid fire. You keep, you swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, and there's no answers. You're like, oh man.
Yeah.
Vice being out at the club, you walk up and get shot down once. That might be it for the night.
Right.
I'm gonna call it a day.
Well, then, yeah.
So here's what's funny. And science proves this, right? That in my entrepreneur classes and all my business classes, I challenge people. I tell them, look, sales and hitting on somebody in the bar is the same skill set, right? It's all about breaking down barriers to communication and building rapport and finding a common ground.
And confidence.
You're initially selling yourself.
You gotta
Right.
you gotta be confident
Sure.
in what you're doing.
No, it's building trust.
Yeah.
correct.
It's all people will buy from who they trust,
Yep.
right? But more importantly, it's the ability to get somebody else to tell their story and listen to it. So in other words, the number one sales technique, right, is to people aren't there for the product. They're there because they have a problem they think their product can solve.
Right.
So it's your job as a salesperson. Now, mind you, this is a good salesperson, needs to start conversation, develop rapport to find out what that problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then the ability to frame your product to fix that problem. So it's not like a car salesman just trying to throw somebody in any car they can throw them into just to get the sale. No, those are crappy car salesmen, and they don't tend to last long, right? It's that car salesman understanding that why is that mama for in the car lot? She doesn't need a car. What does she need?
Minivan.
Not
Or
even
a
that.
large SUV.
That's what someone trying to make the sale would approach, right? Try to get them the biggest, most expensive car. But it's understanding that mom of 4 is there. She needs safe, reliable transportation.
Right.
She needs
Affordable.
some not just affordable, something that she can be able to get the kids to school, get the shopping done with some comfort, and to know that her family is safe. Like, that's what she wants.
Correct.
That could be any car on the lot as far as she's concerned, right? And it's the job of the salesperson to get to that. So when you're in a bar, it's not just, hey, I want to get in that person's pants, or I want to date. Like, you got to find out, all right, who is this person? Like, what motivates this person? Be able to start conversation.
Yep.
And break down those barriers of communication. That you're not just going up there with a cheesy pickup line, right?
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Have you ever tried that?
Something tells me he has, and I
Maybe.
almost guarantee he has.
Did it work? Is that why you're married right now?
I did not use that line.
He's the one about running around his brain all day.
Oh.
No. I used my charm and my wit. Found common ground, technology, invited myself to coffee. Bam, bam. Married.
Well played, sir. Maybe. You invited yourself to coffee?
He did.
Her and her friends always went to coffee Friday mornings. They were all teachers.
So you crashed the party?
Yeah, on my motorcycle even. Rode up on my motorcycle, all suave, like, bought her cup of coffee. We went on a date that night.
Right in front of her friends?
Yeah.
Wow.
Went on a date that night, took her to one of my friend at the time's house who was a fighter. And
That's not
probably,
creepy at all.
hold on. Was probably one of the most arrogant men on the planet. And I did it because I wanted to see what she would do if I put her in a situation with that type of person. And she paid him no attention. It was actually pretty funny. And so I was like, yeah, you're cool.
Dude, that's pretty...
She didn't know that for like a year. I finally told her, I was like, I took you to that person's house because...
You really rolled the dice that day.
Dude, he was all in.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
Hey, man. I'm a salesman. I'm just selling all this.
You had a lot more to sell then, too.
I did.
So that's all.
It was also a little bit cheaper. These days, I probably bumped the price up.
It's not just plain coffee. It's something special.
Right. No, cinnamon.
The article says about 1,300 college-age students were asked about their Tinder use, body image, and self-esteem. And the study found that men and women who use the app tend to have lower self-esteem and lower counts in all those areas, which makes sense. I think it's you use the tool to get around your inhibitions, so I get around the things that are bothering you.
Right. And then I feel like it becomes twofold. Like, oh, I do all this, but then nobody swipes. Oh, well, I don't like my hair. So is it my hair? Is that why no one swipes it? Like, you just get into this spiral of then you're trying to find either that or you think something else is wrong with you of the things you already have, these inhibitions, and now you're just completely upside down.
Wow, 1 in 6 single people are reported feeling addicted to online process of dating. Holy smokes.
Well, I didn't expect that.
Millennials are 100%.
You think that's low?
More
No, I
likely to
didn't
say they feel addicted.
expect addiction on online dating at all.
Oh, I'm sure. I always give this lady I have at work a hard time. She's recently single, so I always ask her how her Tinder life's going. Which I'm not sure it's okay with HR, but whatever. So one day she was like, well, I guess if you swipe up on Tinder, it's called a super like and like instantly connects with people. And she did that by mistake. And she's like, man, this guy would not leave me alone because she did that. So he was like nonstop pounding at the door trying to get a date.
Do you remember the site Hot or Not?
Yes, I do remember
1 to
that.
10.
I had a roommate who would get on that, and I would hear him just laughing his butt off. And one time I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, check this out. So he would purposely rate like these girls, like these snobbish hot girls. You could tell, like you can tell sometimes, like the mean girls are on there, and he would just rate them out of 1.
That's great.
On MySpace, people would put their hot or not rating. They're like, "Oh, look what I got on hot or not." So yeah, your roommate was
MySpace.
Was ahead of his time.
That's great.
But then you get these guys on there that would just berate these girls just to get a reaction out of it. It was hilarious. It was 100% entertainment for a couple minutes.
That might have been cyberbullying before it was a thing.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, look,
the whole concept of cyberbullying baffles my mind. Just hit the off button and you're not bullied anymore. But
yeah, you put yourself out there
Delete.
to some point.
delete. Yeah, or Control Alt Delete. You wipe it all out. Anyhow. Did you know that I read somewhere, and Tim, you could probably verify this, that when they initially came up with the Control Alt Delete, it purposely made it hard for fear of people accidentally wiping out their stuff.
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
It was like,
People wipe out their stuff. Usually I'm like, did you save it in the cloud like you're supposed to? And when they say no.
Well, the cloud didn't always exist, Timothy.
The clouds always have existed. We just didn't use them. Your data floats around in the little white clouds.
True. Which are man-made from our hurricane machines that the government secretly has.
True story. Area 51, man.
Which, if you guys ever look up in the sky and you see the chemtrails, that's actually the data from your computers floating around.
Sometimes it's also your remote starter. It's got to go to the cloud and come back down to your car. I only say that because my wife's aunt, when I first met her, it was, obviously it's been years, and I remote started the car. We walked out of the restaurant. She goes, "How'd you do that?" And I said, I have a remote starter. She goes, "Well, how does it work? Does it go to the cloud?" So she's looking up at, and my wife's dad and I both are in technology, and I kind of look at her and I was like, "Yeah, it goes up to the cloud and it sends a signal back down and starts the car." And we were trying so hard not to just lose it, that this poor older woman fully on believed that that's how it worked. It was great. That's bullying in real life. That would be like elderly abuse or something.
That's bullying right to your face. Yeah. No inhibitions. So apparently also in China, the six-pack is getting more popular.
It's funny that we're reading this because I've never known Chinese women to be like...
Oh, I thought we were talking about booze. No,
I think they're talking about.
They're talking like six-pack abs.
Six-pack
abs.
They actually.
But I've never known them to be like obese or heavy set in any way.
I don't. I'm guessing that they're probably just not as toned, for lack of a better word. So what they're doing is they call it what's that, Mahjong or Vest.
Not Mahjong. That's a game that I will never understand.
Me too.
Any game which you need an encyclopedia to look up if you want or not. I don't see how that's entertaining.
So they call it Mahjong Zhang?
Zhang.
So it means vest lines, basically.
Right.
So what they were saying as I was skimming through this is that these women before obviously would eat and be in decent shape, but weren't really trying to tone and get this new fat that they really want to have these.
You know what this is? This is the age of the selfie.
Oh, absolutely.
This is totally the age of the selfie, in that they're seeing a bunch of American women constantly posting pictures of themselves, which I find annoying, by the way. Constantly posting pictures of themselves. I see dudes do it too, man. Selfies at the gym
while they're curling their bicep.
Well, but people are getting uber famous for just posting selfies of their abs.
Right, Kim Kardashian.
But just of their abs.
Right,
and their legs. And I think that's what you're starting to see now, is that the emphasis on the six-pack or the ab lines or the vest lines, as they say here, is just now starting to make its way into China. Which, if you know anything about China, guys, the information is heavily regulated in China. The internet is heavily regulated. Social media is heavily regulated for various reasons. We're not going to get into the politics of it, but that government has chosen to regulate information. And now that these Chinese women are starting to post pictures of their abs, it wouldn't surprise me if the government cracks down on this at some point.
Yeah, I definitely think you hit on something with the pictures, because they've got a woman here underneath it that says, after a 15-minute HIIT training, which is the high-intensity interval training, this woman takes a photo of herself to document her workout. And she has on yoga pants. She's got to pull down a little bit. She's trying to show the abs.
She's even pulling down the pants. Right. She's got a great body, great figure on her.
And this picture, obviously, is just her wanting to put it out there to probably get some sort of response from maybe her Tinder. Who knows? Hopefully she doesn't have low self-esteem over here. But
well, I think also, too, the popularity of CrossFit around the world and people documenting their workouts and showing the aftermath, the quote-unquote aftermath of the workout is playing to this as well. But, I think it's great. Whatever gets people into fitness and gets them working out and increases. Obviously, you have to have an improved self-image if you want to put pictures of yourself out there.
Right.
And if it's feeding into that, go for it. I mean, keep doing it. I think that's great.
So this hits on what Sam said earlier, too. Women in China have long been associated with being beautiful but very skinny. They've always wanted to be very thin. And now it looks like kind of maybe what you said, some of that CrossFit and stuff, some of these workouts are getting out there, they're putting out a little bit more muscle.
Well, the concept of beauty is changing a little bit.
Strong is beautiful. They're getting some definition and such.
I did see a phrase in there called fat tiger. I don't want to be a fat tiger.
Yeah, it's and it looks like they're doing.
By the way, that silence was because a picture came up and left Tim dumbfounded for a second.
Sam actually just drooled on himself is what happened. So there's some other good stuff in here too, you know, accepting who you are and doing things. So there's some other stuff in there too that's not just about that I want to be able to show off my six-pack to the entire world, but that's good. I think good for them. Good for them for trying to get healthy, get in the gym, and rock the six-pack if you can.
There's a picture on the side. Click on that. You guys might be too young to know who Denise Austin is. That's Denise Austin right there. And she's been associated with daytime fitness shows forever. And for as long as I can remember, that lady has looked the same. Like, does not age. Denise, anybody that's ever watched like ESPN, she had a morning fitness show forever and ever. She was a ball of energy, almost to the point where you had to shut it off. But anyway, crazy segue right there. Denise Austin.
Cindy Crawford is kind of the same way. She has not aged a day.
Yeah, but I wonder how much help was going on there with Cindy Crawford. I don't want to speculate or anything like that. But anyway, that picture, anybody that's ever seen ESPN for the longest time on Saturday mornings, and just TV in general used to have fitness shows on all the time. I don't know if you guys remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Everson had one. Gilad Jankovic had one.
Denise Austin, right?
Denise Austin. Now look at
she
her.
Was America's fitness sweetheart.
Forever, dude, forever. And so look at her picture. That's a picture back in the 80s.
All right.
Right? Now look at her now picture.
Here we go. If there's silence, bear with us.
She looks the same.
No, man. Wow.
She looks the same.
Wow.
It's insane. And she doesn't age as well. But that just goes to show you what a healthy lifestyle and an active lifestyle will do for you.
It says in 2014 she released her 100th fitness DVD.
Yep, yoga booty lift. Yeah,
I'd buy that.
You buy it. Yeah, 100 DVD. That's insane, and that's before she started doing that stuff. Before DVDs were even around.
Right.
I noticed you stopped on Fabio right there.
No, I just keep clicking. I'm just trying to.
Liar.
Click. Sam's trying to.
Didn't you refer? You referred to yourself as Fabio a couple shows ago, did you not?
I might not surprise.
Maybe the 80s.
Not at all.
Did you not? I find that very funny. Very, very funny. There's also Richard Simmons on there, which, you know what, guys? People will make fun of Richard Simmons, but that guy's done wonderful
he's
things for people. Amazing people for things. And Body by Jake.
I remember Body by Jake.
Oh my gosh, this is
Body by Jake. Look up Corey Everson. She used to have a show called Body Shaping. Now, if you guys don't know who Corey Everson is, she was a Miss Olympia, like a 7-time Miss Olympia, one of the first Miss Olympias to really just dominate the sport. But it was at a time when it was more her physique now is more women's physique than it is Olympia. And then that's her in her heyday right in the middle there. But she had a show on forever called Body Shaping. And it was her and Keanu Toms. I used to watch that all the time as a preteen, as a prepubescent boy. Watching Body Shaping was a highlight of my Saturday right there. But if you go back a couple, you'll see, scroll up there, the one, right in the middle there. That's like on the top.
This one here.
Yeah, that's kind of like in her heyday. In her Body Shaping TV heyday. So she would do this Body Shaping in her off season, this TV show. But anyway, the glory days of fitness shows. I don't think there's any on anymore.
No.
That I'm aware of. It's all gone to YouTube. That's a fake picture.
Yeah, that is.
Tim just brought up a picture of her head on a man's body. He's like, dude, she's not that attractive.
Wow.
Anyhow. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. Just like you do every Saturday, you're listening to Treadmills and Tangents, your health and wellness show. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on the Twitter. Check out our website as well, treadmillsandtangents.com. We're here every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on The Answer, 94.5 FM, 1420 a.m. Have a good weekend.
When you walk into Mid-American Martial Arts, you're walking into more than punching and kicking. You're walking into a community, and that is what I think sets us apart from everybody else. We train anywhere from 4 years old, and we have students as old as in their 60s here. Our main programs are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, Judo, as well as our strength and conditioning program, which is our Training for Warriors program. Our main goal is that when people leave here, they feel better about themselves. You know, they're a little bit better as a person, they feel a little bit about their life, they feel better about their day. Now, everybody holds baggage, everybody has stress. This is the place where they can come in and put all that away for a little bit and work on themselves. Yeah, do we hope they can defend themselves better? Sure. Do we hope they can punch and kick a little better? Absolutely. None of that matters if they don't feel good about themselves. And that's the main key. If they can walk out of here feeling good about themselves, feeling good about their life, then we've won that day.
Mid-America Martial Arts, located at 14951 Chandler Road in Millard. Give them a call at 402-813-1721 or visit midamericamartialarts.com.
Tune in each Saturday morning with fun banter on what it takes to live a healthier, happier, and more vibrant life in the Big O. Treadmills and Tangents with Coach Aaron Cerrone and his army of wellness warriors.